are plenty of petty pre-flight arguments that are often caused by crowds, hunger, or different airport pacing. The security line's much longer than you thought. Suddenly, the TSA pre-check line that you thought you could count on is closed. There is a thing called interpersonal physiological synchrony. It isn't a breakup, it's a buffer. We literally did nothing, but we did it together.
Of course, we know divorces happen every single day in this country. We know that more than most. But still, I didn't know that a lot of divorces are happening every day at the airport until she told me about this. And with that, everybody, welcome. I'm TJ, that's Robes. We are out of network, which means we can now have this conversation. Robes, this is one of the more depressing relationship trends you've brought my way.
Yes, you say that, but there are plenty of folks who say this is a relationship saving trend because different people have different ways of dealing with stressful situations. Okay. We all can agree, I think, that going to the airport and getting on a plane can be exciting, sure, but it can also be exceptionally stressful, especially when you have two different ways of handling it. Are you an early bird? Are you somebody who likes to get in last minute? Are you somebody who is very organized? Are you somebody who kind of just lets things happen?
What do you think most people are?
I think you have varying degrees of both, and I think a lot of couples are opposites because opposites attract. Sometimes our differences, we help each other complete one another by having different ways of approaching things.
Finish the rest of that saying you always love, and opposites attract.
Opposites attract, and then they attack. And that is absolutely true. Anyone who has been divorced for real or just had a breakup can understand. Yes. I'm sure just about every person has been in a relationship with somebody who was the opposite of them. And it's very exciting at first, but then it can become very complicated and lead to, yes, a separation or a breakup. Now, I would say there are plenty of things that have brought us together as a couple, as friends for a very long time. And as friends who worked in the industry together, we actually traveled quite a bit, especially in the last couple of years. And that was one of the things that I believe, at least for me, clicked. Because when you have a very different traveling style from somebody else, it can literally start your vacation off so terribly that it can ruin the rest of the vacation. I have had, it's taken me days sometimes to recover in previous relationships just to calm down mentally because I'm so annoyed with what the experience was just getting to said vacation. Now you and I think it was one of the things where I said to you, wow, it's just easy with you because we both have the same way of operating. You're a little bit more than I am, but
I'm just a little earlier.
We're still enough on the same page. We were still those people. We were the person in the relationship who wanted to get to the airport early, who wanted to board the airport early, and who wanted to enjoy the experience along the way.
Yes, it's supposed to be fun. Didn't you say, what's the word you use? We get so excited. Especially vacation. Doesn't matter. One of the last things we do before we leave the house, if we're going on a trip, is pop a bottle of champagne, no matter what time it is, because it feels fun and celebratory. It's like you're starting a really long day's date, and everybody's going to be around, but you're together. There's something about, Rose, being in a crowd, but being only there for each other. I love the airport.
We attack the airport situation as a team. And look, we're lucky that we have the same mode of operation. You cannot do that if someone wants to do it one way and the other person wants to do it the other. And so it's not possible if you are opposites. I don't think. It's really, 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 really hard. But you and I are lucky enough. That was literally one of the green lights that I saw, one of the green flags I saw in us, is that we could travel well together. And that is one of the most stressful things couples do together, I would say, in the spirit of having fun, right? You're supposed to be enjoying your vacation, but how many times do we see couples fighting, arguing, annoyed with each other, separated by feet, to the point where we're like, are they together?
You've done
are
that
they
a lot.
A couple?
Yeah.
Oh, hell, they are. Wow, that person's so angry at the other person. Anybody who's traveled knows. And sometimes it's fun. And not that we're taking any joy in someone else's misery, but
We're just
we've
being
been
entertained by it.
Yes, because we've been there. I've been that couple
Okay.
plenty of times.
Not with me at the airport.
Not with you.
Oh, yeah.
In previous relationships. So you can recognize it. And I just appreciate that we fight. We disagree. We don't do everything the same. But almost always when it comes to the airport, we're in sync. And so for us, it's a reconnection. Airport is, we don't have an airport divorce. We have an airport, what do they call renewal? Like we renew our vows. We feel like a team finally. Maybe we've been separate in other issues throughout the week, but when we go to the airport, we're a team. It's
always fun. It is absolutely every time. So for folks, Robes, who are stressed out during the week or the months, Robes, we talk, the line somebody said the other day is just, right, you're working just to get to the weekend and then counting the days until your next vacation. Most people maybe live like that, Robes. And if you do, you're waiting to get to vacation so you can get time with the spouse or the loved one you haven't spent the time with. So when you show up to the airport and then you want to separate, I hate hearing that.
Someone put it like this. And by the way, I was surprised at how many advocates there are out there.
For this?
There have been a ton of articles. This started last summer, but this summer it ramped up and people are weighing in. And I have to say, the absolute majority of the articles and the majority of folks, and maybe it's just because they feel compelled to write them, are pro airport divorce. And one writer put it like this: it isn't a breakup, it's a buffer.
My next thing is there something about the relationship we should examine if we can't survive going through an airport together?
And there are those who say that it is just a symptom of a larger problem.
Okay, thank you. That is probably what I'm getting at.
But that is in the minority. It's funny. It's interesting.
But what we actually have things as a couple we know we can't or we shouldn't do together. Like, what else is there, Robes? Should we not cook together? Should we not clean the house together? Should we not do laundry together? Should we not? What else? I'm just saying that is one of the things that's high up that you absolutely want to do with your loved one. What is your sweetie pie doing that this is a fun experience? We're going to Europe. See you on the plane.
You have to have compromise. You have to be willing to compromise. And most people would argue that's the only way a relationship actually lasts is if you learn how to compromise.
Well, what are people disagreeing about at the airport?
So I can tell you a myriad of things. You can.
And are kids involved in it? We're just talking about couples.
This is just couples right now. But they say there are plenty of petty pre-flight arguments that are often caused by crowds, hunger, or different airport pacing. So you're annoyed by other people and you take it out on each other. You have different, some people are hungry, some people want to eat, some people want to drink, some people want to shop, some people want to walk, some people want to chill. And different people handle stress differently. I thought this was interesting. I want to get your take on this. There was a 2023 British Airways survey that showed 54% of people admit their personality changes at an airport.
They admit their own?
They say, I become a different person.
Like an asshole.
Pretty much. And there are so many articles that have been recently written. There was one writer who talked about her husband, who's normally a cool, laid-back kind of guy, but she's like, he suddenly becomes like an army drill sergeant. You cannot stop to pee. You cannot stop to get food. You must get through the line. No one should have any fun because you need to be, focused on the objective, which is to get to the gate. And she's like, who are you? And she's like, the second he gets on the plane, he's chill and back to his old self. There are people who literally my dad turns into a very militant person. I remember we didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't take a lot of plane trips, but we took a lot of road trips. He limited how much we drank so we wouldn't have to pee. He limited how much we ate so we didn't have to stop.
That's good policy.
He had made sure all snacks were pre-planned and arranged and limited.
And you were never late to any of your destinations, were you?
But we were all stressed out and on edge because no one upset Dad when he's driving. But it's the same thing in the airport.
No, do you become a different person?
I don't think I do. I think I apply how, look, we have, look, everyone I think has a stressful life to an extent. But I do think over the years I've learned how to handle it better. I have been on edge before. I would argue this. If you are with a teammate, a partner, with someone who puts all the burden on you, or all the responsibility goes to you, or that other person just doesn't care, and yes, I have been overly irritated. I have not liked who I was in moments when I got frustrated by not having a teammate. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Do you think you become a different person? I think you become a more fun person.
You know what, Robes? I love the airport. I become a kinder person. I become a more patient, tolerant person. Everybody's going through hell around us. And I don't take it out on any TSA agent, no one who's holding up the line. People all the time. How many times have I turned to you when we get to that belt, right? We're putting our stuff on. And somebody, it's like they don't even know to take the shoes off. And I turn and say, wow, I remember the first time I flew.
Right.
That's a joke.
Look, I think what we've done, and this was just our special sauce. And if anyone else can apply this or think about this, we have always, especially at the airport, attacked stress with humor. And it's not that we're laughing at anyone, but we're laughing at a situation that is so common that you just have to laugh because it repeats itself. And if you let it get to you, it'll frustrate you. It'll make you feel like you're going insane because you see the same scenarios play out, and you can almost predict them if you travel enough. Yes. But if you can enjoy it and say, here comes this, I bet that's happening next, and then you just make a game of it or laugh it off. And that has been actually, even if we've had a tough week, when I know we've got a trip at the end of the week, I'm like, we're going to be good. Because when we get to that, when we get into the Uber to head to the airport, we're chilling.
We have that system down. We know who's packing the night before, who's going to finish up packing in the morning, who's going to need the bathroom at this time, that I need extra time to pack equipment. We know that you always handle the Uber. Right, we know that my boarding pass is always in your phone. we just got it down, and we're always partners. I don't know. Maybe if you're with your loved one, with your sweetie, you haven't been able to spend time with during the week. I want to go shopping. She wants to go have a drink. You're telling me that neither one of you all can give anything enough in that moment. And we have to separate. I just find that the problems at the airport don't seem to be big enough to keep two people away from each other.
Yeah, and I feel like, look, how great would it be to have a mimosa first and then go shopping? Shopping's more fun that way. But there is some science that backs up splitting up. So there is a thing called interpersonal physiological synchrony.
Okay, of course, yes. We've all
dealt
with that.
Rolls right off the tongue. But the point being
Say
is
it again, though, seriously.
Interpersonal physiological synchrony.
All right.
So if one person is stressed out and just, cracking the whip and just making everybody feel this level of stress and urgency, it absolutely affects the partner or anyone else traveling with that person. Your heart rate raises, your stress levels go up, and then what do you feel? Anger towards the person who's making you feel a certain way. And so there is some real science that how you behave, 100%, your energy affects your partner.
Yes.
And if you don't recognize that, then you aren't being honest. And so everyone needs to check their own energy and recognize that what you're putting out is affecting your partner and may make your partner not want to travel with you.
Okay, we don't have that. We have good energy. We're both, and we do work travel as well. But it's all, I don't know. I'm always, even if we're going to something that's not necessarily a fun destination, the best part is still the airport with you. It's the best dates we have every month.
I would say so too.
At the airports, we plan them. There's a car that picks us up. We go into the lounge. We have dates. It is a blast.
Things got a lot easier though when you got your TSA pre-check. This is when we were just colleagues and just friends. But remember, you kind of didn't want to get the TSA pre-check, and I really wanted you to because I didn't want to separate, but I was not willing to wait in a longer line. We made when we were friends, we would make a little competition out of it, who could get through faster, and sometimes you beat me.
Yeah,
it absolutely happened.
It's probably 50-50.
Yeah, but you've got your TSA pre-check now,
yes.
So we're all good on that. But this was interesting. TikTok posted a survey from an insurance company, and this was a shocking number. 25% of people in this survey said they either actually put airport divorces in practice or they supported doing so and would consider doing it in the future.
Okay.
That's a lot of folks. That's a quarter of people traveling with the partner saying, yeah, I'm good if we just went our separate ways and met up later.
That's maddening.
I think that's a pretty high number too.
But I guess we have a high number when it comes to divorces as well. We have a high number. Is this just indicative of the state of relationships in the country? I just don't imagine. We're talking about a fun thing. It's like going to an amusement park and say, hey, I'll see you back here in 2 hours. It's like
it's how you look at the airport, right?
Okay, that maybe I'm viewing it as a positive and other people are seeing it as a duty or something that's stressful, and that's why you have to separate. Babe, on a vacation though?
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage people. I really do think so much of life is a mindset. So much of how you feel about something or even someone is a mindset. And if you go into it saying, we're going to have a blast, no matter what happens, no matter if we have to pay extra for the bag that we can't check on, whatever happens that frustrates you. If you can say, we're going to laugh it off. We're going to laugh off every stressful moment.
Yeah.
We're going to make a joke. We're going to have fun, and we're going to stick together, and we're going to support each other. And if one person starts getting grumpy, have a code word, a safe word, a tickle word, whatever, that you say, come back to me. We're going to enjoy this. Even through the tough times, let's have fun.
You know what? Maybe I'm coming around because you just said something that... The key to all this, though, Robes, in that story you just explained, you have to like that other person.
That's true.
Robes,
you have to want to spend time with the other person.
You have to genuinely like and want to be around.
And look, a lot of marriages, you may love the other person, you may respect the other person, but you might not necessarily like having fun with the other person.
Not your fun person.
But maybe you can see what it would be like if you made that the point of it, or you tried to recalibrate and say, let's have fun and see what happens. Look, you can't make somebody enjoy something. You can't make somebody feel something, but you can maybe fake it till you make it and see what happens. Just a thought, just knowing what it's like and how much fun we have and how I actually wish that everyone could be having as much fun as we do when we're at the airport. If anyone has seen us at an airport, you'll know we're not lying. We're usually laughing our butts off. And even when a vacation's over and you're kind of sad, I will admit this, I kind of get excited because I know we're going back to the airport.
Get on a plane. And we
That's
get to
crazy.
planes really, really early. There's no stress for us running or chasing down. That's key for us as well. There's no stress.
If you make a decision to get to the airport and with plenty of time, then now you're not going to be as stressed, because if there's an accident on the freeway, if your Uber's late picking you up, if you have any issues whatsoever, now the security line's much longer than you thought. Suddenly the TSA pre-check line that you thought you could count on is closed. We've had that happen.
Yeah.
You've got buffer.
No stress at all.
You've got buffer.
We give ourselves time. I always do. I've said this. I plan for us having a flat tire in this car and having enough time to call another Uber to pick us up from the side of the road.
Yeah.
I'm insane in that. And that's where our compromise did come in. I am such an early to the airport guy. You're an early to the airport gal, but not as early as
Correct. You're like, wow, early, and I'm early, and we met in the middle. And we now have our time. It took us a couple go-arounds to find out what that sweet spot is, but I think we've got it now.
But there was never any stress.
Yeah, we get to the airport at least a full hour before boarding. So not when the plane takes off, but boarding. And that's for domestic flights, and we don't check bags, and we have TSA pre-check. So that's the only, and if any of those things are different, then we get to the airport even earlier.
And my old rule used to be I like to eyeball my gate 1 hour before. So I'm already through security. I like to see my gate 1 hour before the flight takes off.
And that's part of my compromise, because you would like to walk all the way to the gate, wherever it is, before we decide if we're shopping or sitting down at a restaurant
Just
or
gotta
going
see
to
it.
the lounge. Even
Wanna
if
see it.
it's far away from the lounge.
Yeah, just want to eyeball it.
We have to go see the gate first. And I'm like, all right,
Just
I
wanna see
can
it.
do that for you.
That's the one right there. They didn't change it.
Then we can walk all the way
That's the
back
one.
where we just were
That's cool.
to sit down.
But now I can be comfortable
But
sitting
now
down.
you're calm.
How many? It's happened to us a couple times. Gate switches.
Yeah,
right.
that is
so
true.
I always like to know. I always will remember that couple. They were at the wrong going to
They're
go
like,
to
we're
the
going
wrong.
to Jamaica, right?
Yeah,
And
we
we're
were
like,
going to where?
Turks and Caicos. different Caribbean island.
So hey, they changed gates on you.
Yes, they can. So anyway, 25% say they either do the airport divorce thing or support it or would do it.
Okay.
18% said that they do enjoy sticking together, which that's a little lower than I would think. Only
What?
18% of people say they enjoy sticking together. And then there is the third category, which we fall into.
Which is?
10% of people say they treat the airport as date time. And that is exactly what we do.
Go up the number again. Is 18% was what?
That they enjoy staying together.
Okay, and then the other number was what?
More than 25%
Say.
say they either do the airport divorce thing or support it or would do it and think it's a good idea.
Okay, are there some numbers missing?
Yeah,
right?
this is just what we
Okay,
got. Like,
that's
who
what I
knows
was-
if they were undecided or don't
Okay, there
care.
it
I
is.
don't know. But the least of the three responses was the date time. But I had never thought about what we do as date time, but that's exactly what we do. And it's more fun than going to the movies. It's more fun than actually going out to eat because you actually get a show, like a reality show, right in front of you. Just watching families. And look, we say this because we have been those families, and sometimes we are those families struggling with a lot of folks in tow. But just seeing how different people manage and handle family dynamics, relationship dynamics, stressful situations, how people pack, how people choose to dress for the
Yeah.
airport, like in their pajamas.
That's so
But
interesting.
it's just people watching and fun and shopping. Like, to me, it's like an adult playground. Truly.
Robes, you get picked up in a car and driven to a place. where
In New
you're-
York, we have an Uber. I guess some people do drive and park.
But generally, even if you go, most people get dropped off, right? But you actually get into a car with your loved one and get driven somewhere. And then you go through and you see this live show all around you. And then what do? You sit down and you have drinks and a meal. And then Robes,
You
that
get a live
is
show.
a date.
Yes, and you get
That's
to see.
a date. And you paid hundreds of dollars for this.
That's so true.
It's a
So
date.
why not enjoy it, right? Exactly. All right. So the big question I think you asked me initially is like, why? Why can't people just compromise? Why do people do this?
Uh-huh.
But they do say that if this works for you, if making sure that you can start off your vacation not angry at your partner, that's a win. And look, I do think you know your relationship, you know your partner.
That sounds crazy.
If you know that your partner handles challenges and difficulties and stress very differently than you do, and watching them handle it very differently than you do affects you negatively, at some point, maybe it is okay just to say, bye for now. See you later.
Man.
And people who support this say, think about all the other temporary divorces people have. People
Okay.
have sleep divorces. They have hobby divorces. They have TV time divorces. People do things when you have very different interests. You do things separately. And they say sometimes separating is a way to appreciate each other when you come back to one another.
Oh my
that whole
God. Oh
absence
my God.
makes the heart grow fonder. And if I'm not around you enough for you to piss me off, then I can actually be happy.
This is the state. Boy, the bar is low, ain't it, for a good relationship?
Relationships are hard. They're the hardest thing we do. It's been obviously the most challenging part of my life, without a doubt. And career has been exceptionally challenging in moments, but I still would say relationships are by far, those romantic relationships are the hardest things we do.
But we can't. Let's some of the things you just said. You said we temporary divorce and watching television, sleep divorce. These are things. The sleep thing, people have different reasons for it. Snores, somebody
Yes,
snoring.
or
and
they
stuff.
different bedtimes, different jobs where people have to work different hours.
Okay, that I'm gonna put to the side.
Okay.
Because that's not spending time together. That's just being physically in the same spot for 8 hours. You're not interacting.
How about the weekend where he likes to golf and she likes to shop?
Okay, that's fine.
Hobby divorce.
Went there and did this, and then we came together for something. I am still talking different. Even the movies or watching a TV show. You like this, I like that. We just don't watch TV together.
Different rooms, different TVs. People do that all the time.
This is what I'm saying, babe. Flying, yes, is, in my opinion, different. I think the TV thing also falls into this category. What is it saying about us that's something we enjoy, we don't want to invite our favorite person in the world into, and in fact want to stay separate just to keep the peace? The idea of keeping the peace robes over a TV show. Hey, babe, come check this out with me. It's not my thing. After you give it a shot once. Like, I don't want to sit there and watch TV by myself, no matter what show. I was trying to get you to go watch Masters of the Universe.
And I said I would go.
And you said you would go. And, Rose, it's the things that are supposed to be recreational. It's the things that are supposed to be some of the things we look forward to most. And when you get to it and you get to do it, to not want to be with your significant other is the thing I'm just getting my head around still. And I wish we could all try to see that as something we should do better about. Like, make an effort. If you do this, the airport divorce, try something differently next time.
Yeah.
Try, invite, or just cave to whatever the other person wants. I say cave, bad word, but you get what I'm saying. Just
submit.
Try it. Yes.
Submit. But
Damn
no, I actually think look, we have gone through 2 divorces each. We have had varying relationships, and there are always different issues. But I do think once you start doing things separately, once you start prioritizing your peace, and the way you do that is by spending less time with your partner,
Whoa.
That is a warning sign. I believe that is a red flag.
How could it not be? Yeah.
When you start finding joy and comfort and peace away from your partner. Now, I think it's great to have your own interests and your own friends and all of that. But when it comes to something you are collectively doing and you have literally a shared destination and you have more fun and you get more peace and enjoyment from being away from the person you're going on this trip with, I just think and I'm not knocking it if it works, but it's worth asking yourself why, and what if we tried this other approach and turned it into an airport date? So instead of an airport divorce, what if you tried an airport date? I would just like every couple out there to give it one try, and maybe it'll blow up in your face, or maybe it'll I don't know, open your heart a little more. And I think a lot of times people are protecting themselves from conflict, protecting themselves from having to compromise, because that's hard. But that is what brings you together. That's what makes you a unit. That is what makes you a team. When you can combat stress together, even if it's not exactly the way you would do it, that is how bonds are deepened. Is it not?
Robes, I say this to you, and yes, to your point, it's what I'm making. I've said this to you before. I am not that worried when things come up because we've been through so much. We've been tested and stressed enough in big ways that people saw, but also in small daily relationship ways that people
We're always
have
together.
No idea about. And when things come up now, I don't worry at all because of what we've been able to overcome. So what you're saying, yes, babe, strengthening bonds, I assure you that ish works. It does. I've been through it all with you. So I've been through everything with my baby, but I can't go through the airport with my baby. It's a weird, and I get it. So it's not a criticism of anybody's relationship. God knows we would never do that.
No, we are living in our glass houses. We want to assure you. But I'm curious. Obviously, I'm sure I do things that annoy you when we're in stressful situations and we're traveling, and you do things that annoy me. I want to make that clear. It's not like we're just perfect and always so happy. Yeah, I'm sure I've annoyed you with how I've reacted to something or someone, and vice versa.
None of that.
But the idea is you choose to let it roll off your back and just laugh it off. And look, when we talk about airport divorce, there are varying degrees. There are some who the airport divorce actually begins at home. You leave for the airport at different times.
Okay.
There are people who take it to that extreme. There are others, and I think this is the majority, begin once they arrive at the airport, because some people like different security lines. Some people have the TSA, some people don't. Some people have just like won't adjust. Like if a business traveler has all the perks and the spouse doesn't.
Shouldn't you be traveling together anyway? Why is one on business and one?
Well, no, because of business perks, you've got the TSA or you've got the whatever, the global entry.
You know what? What do you think about that? Should they stay together?
I think that both partners should agree ahead of time to be in the same, like, I think it is going to create a conflict if one person has TSA and the other person doesn't. So go ahead and just get the other person the TSA pre-check.
But at the airport, would you just go through the regular line if you had the TSA pre-check?
I have before with you.
Okay.
I will admit I had to like, but.
Oh my God, was that before?
That was when we were just.
Yeah, that
friends.
was at work.
Yeah, we were just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did it. But then once we started hanging out, it took you a while to get the TSA.
Mm-hmm.
Once we started dating, I do remember being in the other line and the woman saying to me, "Ma'am, you can go over here." And I was like, "I know, but I'm just going to go through the line with him." For sure. I think you should, without a doubt.
Okay, there it is. That's where
Absolutely.
we need to. There
you
we go.
should not be like, I care
Don't
more
ditch
about about not
Good.
taking my shoes off.
That's what I was
than
saying.
being with my partner.
Okay.
No, the loving and right thing to do is to stick with your partner.
There it is.
But I'm just saying you can combat that ahead of time by going ahead and trying to make sure both people are in the same level. Okay. Other people will then separate once they get through security, right? And they like different ways of spending their time before they board. Okay. So now, when does the airport divorce end? This too has varying degrees. Some people meet at the gate and they're like, "Hey, babe, let's get on the airplane together. Airport divorce is over. Let's go enjoy our vacation."
Okay.
Other people will meet at the seat because they have different boarding preferences. Some people like to board right away.
Oh my God.
Some people like to wait till the last minute.
Okay.
We both like to get on right away.
Yes.
I mean, my kids will tell you, I was so annoying with them growing up. I was like, we have to be in the front of the line because I want my bags to get up
and
on top.
Now I'm annoying with you about it. I'm like, baby, we got to go.
We gotta go.
You got to go get that sandwich right now. Really?
Well, it's usually my kids who are trying to get me to get a last minute Starbucks coffee or something before we board. And you're looking at me like, and I get that.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
And then others, this is the extreme, meet at baggage claim because they have different seating and class preferences. They don't even sit together on the airplane sometimes because someone's got, again, the perks, got the first class seat, the other one doesn't want to pay for the first class seat. There are arguments about how much money you should spend for a ticket. And so to avoid that conflict, each person chooses what seat they prefer and then they meet at baggage claim.
Wait a minute. So it's possible some people go on vacation, given what you just told me. You leave the house separately. So you're going through security separately. So you're hanging out in the airport separately.
Yes.
You then board separately.
Correct.
You then fly on the plane separately. And the first time you start your vacation with your lovey-dovey is at baggage claim in Turks.
And you haven't fought once, you're not annoyed with each other, and you're ready to have some fun. That is the argument.
Okay, let's do that one time. You know what? That is a great freaking idea. How about that?
I hate that idea.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't want to do that.
And see how it, no, really, and naturally just go and see what happens.
We'd be texting each other the entire
Nope,
time.
we're not
We'd
gonna
be
do that.
sending pictures.
Nope,
You'd be
nope,
like,
nope,
look
nope.
what I see. And then I'd be like, wait, where are you? And then we would end up, no, you know what I say
Let's
to
do
that?
it. Let's do
We
it.
spent so long
What?
wanting to make this work. I don't want to waste any time. I literally do not even want to do this for fun. I don't want to waste time missing out on an opportunity to enjoy my time with you. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't want to spend 3 hours alone to test some theory out
You
that
might
I
not be
already
alone.
know the answer
You might
to.
meet some people, nice folks at the bar. You like to chat people up. You know I won't meet anybody.
Okay. All right. There are some folks who they say should never try an airport divorce. And I think you can probably guess who they are.
Okay, wait. You know what? I'll ask at the end. Go ahead.
Parents managing children.
Should
that is
not do
okay. That's not the other parent. The parent who ends up saddled with the kids is going to be so irritated. Now you could split the kids, girls
Then we're
and
good?
boys.
That kind of sounds fun.
That I could understand maybe. The girls want to go shopping, the boys want to watch sports,
That
whatever.
feels
I know
different.
that's very
Okay.
stereotypical, but okay, just an example of that. You know, they've got those airport massages. I don't think you would ever want to do that, but my girls and I would definitely, if we had some extra time,
Okay, then that
line
would
up
make
for that.
sense. Okay,
But they say if you are managing kids, you should not try this. First-time flyers. because the person who they might not know what to do.
They might get lost.
See ya, figure it out. You know what? It's like sink or swim.
Okay.
Here you go.
That's
Not
good.
a good idea. Probably is not going to end well. Couples, this is legit what people wrote. Couples carrying shared medication or documents. Duh. Oh no, I need my heart pills. Crap, my wife has them. Obviously, you should not split up if you
Okay.
share meds or documents.
Oh my God.
That just made
I didn't
me
know
laugh.
this is where you were going.
That just made me laugh that
Okay.
someone felt the need to explain this. And then obviously, if you need mobility support, not cool to let the airport staff push your loved one in a
Oh my
wheelchair
God.
while you go off on your merry way,
Oh,
which
I-
I bet people do.
I didn't know
I
that's
bet
where you were going with this.
But
Okay.
yes, the fact that they felt the need to say, by the
Okay.
way, we're not advocating that any of these groups of people
Oh, that's
try
good.
this out because you are headed for real divorce if
Okay,
you
that's
do
good.
this. I really do believe that. But look, there is the argument, you brought this up at the beginning, and I think it's worth mentioning. And again, no judgment, but there is obviously the school of thought that if you are unable as a couple to maneuver around an airport, that does not bode well for the rest of your relationship. Life is stressful. Problems arise daily. And if you can't handle problems together, if your mode of operation is to do it on your own to protect the peace, you should probably examine your relationship, and that it's worth a deep check.
Yes, that's
It's
all.
worth a check. It could be a symptom of a larger problem. It could just be that y'all love each other, you love hanging out with each other, but you always end up fighting, and it's not worth it, and it's the only time you fight. And if it's that kind of a situation, I get it. Everyone needs to do what they need to do to put their relationship first. And if sometimes that means separating to put your relationship first, that's what works for you. I was just surprised at how many people loved the idea, how many people have, there is example after example after example of it's a lot of women complaining about their husbands being militant and about how
Really?
they want to enjoy the process, and the men are like, no fun till it's done, kind of a thing.
That's awesome.
And that is mostly what
That's
I
awesome.
saw. And it's just the women are like, Jesus, like, let it go. Like, stop
Wow.
being so funny. Women are often called controlling, but when it comes to the airport, mostly it was women complaining about their husbands suddenly turning into this control freak, whereas they're used to being the ones who do that in the house, right? But they suddenly take on this role,
Wow.
and they're like, who are you? And give me back my husband. And then once he gets on the plane, he's calm again.
I'm going to pay even closer attention next time we fly to couples.
Yeah.
And how they move around the airport. I know we look and we have a good time and we laugh and point some stuff out, but I'm trying to remember people having a good time, sitting down in a meal
Smiling.
and laughing and smiling.
Holding
Yeah.
hands. Next time you're at the airport, just take a look. How many couples are holding hands? How many couples are even walking close to one another or touching one another? It's very few. It is a small percentage. And I understand, especially when you've got kids in tow, but you will every now and then see those couples who prioritize each other. And it's cool. Either they're newlyweds or they're an older married couple, and they get it, and they lasted, and they made it through the test of time, and they're together.
Nothing to us.
Right, right. And I feel like most everyone in between, it's tough. It's tough out there.
My question was going to be, I don't know if any of the research showed or had any data about this. And if not, just what do you think? These couples that do this, what kind of vacations are they having? I mean, is there any suggestion possibly that they spend a lot of time alone even or separated on the actual vacation? I don't even know how much that might be a thing. Do people travel places and kind of separate and do their own thing, then come back together for dinner at night? I don't know.
I don't see that as much, but you do see, we talk about this all the time, poolside, beachside, and folks just on their phones. And look, I love a good book and all of that, but just almost backs turned to one another. And
When was the last time you took a book on vacation?
you've already said, I dare you to bring a book on a vacation with me.
I didn't say that.
You did, though, kind of.
I just said that's funny that you
That is
are
true.
bringing a book on vacation. And that was years ago.
So I remember one time we were off somewhere and I had a book, and you just kept hitting it and then going, can I read the last page? Ooh, this happened. And you were so annoying. I was like, I'm never reading a book again. It's not worth it. You're like, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me.
But here is my point.
And I liked that.
I traveled all this way to this beautiful location, and I'm enjoying it by checking out from you. No, I want to spend time with you. If we're just laying here, I want to be doing the same thing as you are. But when somebody has their face in a book,
That's so
it
true.
says you're somewhere else. You've gone off into, and that's fine. That's not a criticism. It's just me. And
Yes.
it is a funny thing now.
I never thought about it like that
Yeah,
until
that's
you
all.
pointed it out, and it makes sense. And do you remember what one of the most fun afternoons we've ever had doing nothing was? We were at the beach, and we watched seagulls for like 2 hours just do this parade, this dance of dipping down. And it was so simple,
We did
so
nothing.
ordinary, and yet we were laughing at the different styles of the seagulls and their dive bombs and who got water and who didn't. And it's so silly, but those are the moments that you don't get if your face is in a phone or in a book. And yes, that was one of the most fun, relaxing days I've ever had, and we literally did nothing, but we did it together.
So that's all I'm saying. So I just hope and want more people to just enjoy doing that thing together too, the airport.
Yes, and I would love, look, this is so cool now that we're on YouTube, folks can comment. I would love anyone who has a story or who has a suggestion
man.
or who has just something that happened either pro airport divorce or
Yes.
against airport
I would
divorce.
love to hear
If
that.
you put it in the comments, I would
would
love
love
to read it. We'd love to do a follow-up episode because I want to know. Like, we can observe, but I don't really know what people do or think about this concept of airport divorce. You can write something, you can say something, but actually, what is your experience? We would love to hear from you. So please, please, please feel free to comment. We would love to see what your airport experience is like with your loved one.
All right, folks, we appreciate you as always, and we will be hearing from you soon, and you'll be hearing from us as well. I'm TJ, that's Robes, and we're out of network.